Okay. Whoops. There we are. Okay. So, I know I've been saying for a while that I'm going to go ahead and do this tour. I have not done it yet. So here we go. This is where I kind of started. This wall actually wasn't a wall. You can kind of see where that looks there. This used to be a hill. I kind of dug back into the hill and cleared out this flat spot. And I built this nice ugly structure here. Had some farms in here. Potatoes, carrots, and beetroot. I had wheat over here. Uh, Over here is my sheep farm. Kind of come in here, and you can't really see it because there aren't enough sheep right now. But there used to be. Let me get out of here. Oops. What I did is I had. You can color the sheep, and when you shear them, you get that color wool. So I had like there's 16 colors, and I had 10 of each color. Um, at some point, I must have I don't know, switch something so I wasn't using the shears. Anyway, I was killing sheep, and I killed a lot of them. I need to redo this whole thing. But this was like kind of full, and I've got water on all the corners where it wraps around, and so it kept the sheep all moving because the sheep here were being pushed by the water, and they would push the sheep in front of them. Then of course they would push them all the way up here, and then they'd go around this corner, and they'd push them all the way up here, and these sheep here would kind of be sucked around this corner. So it just kept the whole thing moving in a cycle. And I stand right there, and as the sheep go by, I would shear them automatically. It's pretty neat. Um, and it worked pretty well too. Let's see. Down here is the storage room, and I've got a sorting system set up. So what happens is the stuff goes along here, all right. And in each of these, I've got nothing but white wool in there. I've got nothing but orange wool in there. So nothing but white wool will drop down into this slot. Alright? Now this thing right here is called a comparator. And what it does is it reads the stuff behind it. And it sends out a signal based on what's behind it. Alright, so 18 plus 4, 22 items is enough to send out a signal strength to right here. A 23rd item is going to add one more unit of signal strength. So what that's going to do is it's going to activate this block. This is a repeater. It takes a signal that's coming from behind it, amplifies it, and sends it back out the front at full strength. So what this thing does is it activates this block, which turns off this torch. This torch is locking this hopper right here. So when a 19th white wool drops in there, well, sorry, a 23rd. A 23rd white wool drops in there, it activates that, which activates this, turning this torch off and allowing one wool to drop down. Once one wool drops down, we're back to 22. So this redstone signal leaves that block and is only going that far again. So basically, it only lets white item pass at a time. And like I said, I've got one for each color wool. It's a pretty nifty little getup. And then of course those hoppers feed these chests here. So all the different colors of wool are kept in these chests. I think it's pretty nice. The first thing I really did, like the first month or so, I opened this world, is dug down here. The wool farm I did relatively later. I can't remember exactly when, but it was quite a ways into doing everything. But down here is my main base, my initial base. And I had, just like upstairs, I had farms. I've cleared out the crops and I just left the water for whatever reason. But each of these had a type of crop in it. And then here's my animals. I got chickens, sheep, pigs. I had cows over here, but I've since moved them somewhere else. Looks like I still have something in here. Huh. I still have some cows. I think they were escaping. and so I just hid them back there. Sometimes animals will like glitch through fencing, and I was tired of losing cows. They like be wandering around out here. This is my tree farm. Does not work. I think it's because of the mushrooms. I don't know. Used to work just fine, but it has these trees haven't been growing lately. Down here we've got our iron collection point for my iron farm. Down here and there. Now this is not all full. Yeah, I've recently cleaned it out. Basically what I do is I take the blocks out of here, go to the crafting bench, and make them into iron blocks. 9 of these make 1 block, so I can make 2 blocks. Uses up a lot less space. But, yeah. Basically, that doesn't really show you how the iron farm works. You basically trick the game into thinking there's a village. A village is, you have to have a certain number of doors and a certain number of villagers. So if you have that, the game thinks that there is a village, and a village of a certain size will generate iron golems. They're like protectors for the villagers. And they're in a water stream. So it pushes them out and into like the center, and they drop down a tube where there's lava at the bottom. And they die, and I pick up their iron. It's pretty nifty. These right here, this is cocoa beans. You can make brown dye out of them. I just have a ton of them growing on the walls. You don't really need this much brown dye. Same thing, I got pumpkins and melons growing down here. You just harvest these, and behind them there is... Oh, jeez, I stepped right on it. Seeds, I got the seeds, good. But I don't have a hoe on me. I need a hoe to plow that land, or till that soil. Anyway, you can break this, and the stem still stays. So let me get an axe, boom. Got the watermelon, the stem is still there, and it'll just drop another one down on this spot when it grows. Kind of random. Here's my potion brewing room, where you can brew different potions. Like this one, my fire resistance. That's helpful. Probably go into the nether in a little bit. This is my little nether wart farm. It's all manual. You gotta manually replant it. But you get a ton of nether wart with just that tiny little plot. Look at that. Stacks. 2 stacks, almost 3 stacks of nether wart. That's how you prime. You need to take a water bottle and use nether wart to make, I can't remember what it's called, like a awkward potion, I think. And what that does is, you need an awkward potion to make any other potion. It's kind of weird. What else to show you here? This is neat. This is like an automatic dye maker. Any flower that's too tall, and these are all the flowers that can be too tall, if you hit them with bone meal, they drop dye. So these dispensers have bone meal in them with a redstone line going across them. So I just hit that button, and this little clock fires off. See, the signal goes up here, comes around. By the time it gets here, this has gone off. But this fires it again as this goes around. These are repeaters. They're on a 4-tick delay. Now there's no way to shut it off, so I've got to break the redstone, wait for it to stop, and then I can put the redstone back. I'm sure there's some way to stop that, but I don't know about it. I haven't looked into it. That works just fine the way it is, honestly. And look at that, I just picked up 15 of each of these dyes. I don't need that. I was just showing you how it works. Let's see if I have room. This is my storage room. It's pretty nifty. Got room for just about everything in here. Let's put these watermelons up. This is kind of my food and animals and farm type stuff. So steak, chicken, pork, lamb, potatoes, carrots, wheat, apples, wool blocks, pretty much feathers. I don't need all those feathers. They're not really good for anything. mushrooms, sugar cane. So the thing that's on the left is on the top. The thing that's on the right is on the bottom. Mob drops, dyes, different kinds of fish, pumpkins and melons, various building blocks from, like, this is the netherrack, soul sand, magma blocks, nether brick, redstone and glowstone. Don't have any glowstone right now. Obsidian, granite. Yeah, basically all the building blocks, dirt, rock. There's like 6 different types of wood you can get. Oak, birch, acacia, dark oak, jungle, and spruce. And then each of those, I've got saplings, the trunks, planks, stairs, half slabs, fence posts, fence gates, boats, doors, leaves. Get some glass in here. This is clay. You can make bricks out of clay, like that. Stuff you can make out of stone and cobblestone. Yeah, fences, stairs, half slabs. There's cracked stone bricks, mossy stone bricks. This stuff is from the end. There's like end bricks. That's actually from the nether wart, or nether quartz, sorry. That's useful stuff. Purple blocks, you get that in the end. Snow and ice. Concrete. You've got concrete powder and concrete blocks. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a little bit of a grain to this, whereas this is like smooth. So it just depends on what kind of build you're looking for. That looks like terracotta. More wool. Got another wool thing there. Here's my redstone components. Oops. So there's the comparator thing. I use that in the sorting system. Same thing with the repeater, redstone torch, hoppers. Hoppers pick things up. Minecarts, minecart rails. Down here we got powered rails, pistons, sticky pistons, slime blocks, TNT. There's our coal, flint, gold. Got a ton of gold. You need 9 of these to make one of these, and then 9 of these to make one of these. And so basically, each single block, this is 81 of these. And I've got stacks and stacks of those. Iron, same thing. The iron farm is cranking out the iron. But did I put that up? Yeah, I did. Diamonds. The only way to get diamonds is to mine them. You have to find them and dig them up. So you can't really farm those. Same thing with the lapis lazuli, or what we call bluestone. Old armor and weapons and tools. Should probably grab that. Let's go ahead and replant that pumpkin or the melon. It's all the way down at the end, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there it is. And there we go. Good to go. We'll put this stuff up and then I'll take you to the next spot. Yeah, this is the second video I've made doing this. I used like higher video settings, and I think that it was killing my computer, especially since the video was like 2 hours long. So I'm trying to go a little bit quicker. If I'm talking fast, that's why. This is my mining area. It's basically, I've got these long stretches of 25 long, and then you skip 2 blocks and you do another one. So if we go 25 blocks up this way, there'll be another corridor. And it just goes like this for a long, long way. I think I've got it going 8 of these long shots. And, I don't know, like 40 or 50 rows. There is one thing down here. There are these things called slime chunks. A chunk is like a 16 by 16 area. And some of these chunks can spawn slimes, and they're like these big bouncy green things. They don't like you, so they'll attack you. They also don't like iron golems, the ones that protect the villagers. So they'll go to attack it, but they bump into this cactus, which It doesn't do enough damage to me to even count, but it'll kill a slime. I got really good armor. And we'll just pick up the few slimes that are here. You get these little balls of slime, and you can combine them. 9 of those make a slime block. You also use the slimes to make sticky pistons. It's basically just a regular piston with a slime ball, and then it puts the slime, it looks like it's on the face of it. So like a piston will push an object when you activate it, but then when the piston retracts, it doesn't pull the item along. It just stays there. But a sticky piston will push an item, and then when it pulls back, it'll pull it back with it. Let's eat some chicken. There we go, get our health meter all the way up. This red line is so that I don't get lost. It goes all the way down. So no matter where I am mining, I can just come back along and I find this red line, and then I just go along it until I find this one that sticks out to the side here. And it takes me back to my ladder. Let's go ahead and, whoops, open our little crafting book. And let's make only the stuff that we can make. There we go, slime block. And we'll stick that in this chest here. It's just kind of a spare stuff chest. If I got stuff in my inventory that I want to get rid of, that's where I put it. So we're going to climb back up out. I'm going to show you my villager trading hall. I know I mentioned that to you before. No, that's not it. One more. All the way up here. It's actually right near the ground level. Probably should have made it a little bit lower, but it's fine. Yeah, see how low we are? That's dirt. That's like the ground right there. Must be nighttime. I hear a zombie. Alright, so here's one of my sugarcane farms. There's a thing in the center at height 3, so you got 1, 2, and then 3. At height 3 in the center, there's a thing called an observer block. And what it does is it detects block changes. So when sugarcane grows up to level 3 in that center spot, the observer sends out an impulse, a redstone impulse signal. And I basically have redstone, which is that red dust-looking stuff that I use to find my way out of the mine. It lights up. It's like electricity, like a wire. You can run it along. If you can see here, this is a piston, and it's actually a piston's all the way down the line. Alright, and the redstone dust goes along those pistons. So when that center thing reaches height 3, these pistons at level 2 punch out, breaking all the sugarcane. And that sugarcane lands on the sand and is picked up. We'll see it go by here in a second. There is a minecart that goes along this track. There we go. It just went by. It's very quick. Do it one more time. There you go. There it goes again. So if sugarcane falls on the sand, that thing picks up and it drops it into that hopper. And it puts it... I forgot about that. Yeah, I was moving a villager, or showing you how to move a villager in the first video I made, and lost this minecart. Anyway, this is where my sugarcane ends up. I've got 5 of these double chests. It starts from the bottom and fills up, and they're all full. So when I get sugarcane, and that thing that I showed you is right here. Here's the observer over here. When that thing grows up, it lights up this line of redstone that goes out. I think it can go out 15 blocks. So this is 31 long, and there's 2 of them, so it's 62. Ooh, here's my wheat farm. Look at that. So wheat gets sent down along this water path. There's some. Alright. And then it comes up here, flows over these hoppers, and the hoppers funnel it into this dispenser. It's actually a dropper. And then the dropper sends it up this glass elevator. Yeah, if you push an item up with a dropper, but that space is occupied, it'll just push up to the top of that until it gets to the first empty space it comes to. And so I put an empty block above that hopper right there. So that's where the thing ended up. It drops into the hopper, and then these hoppers all lead into the chests. So, pretty nifty. The only way to get down here, really... I'm going to pick up some wheat as I go. Yeah. Now that is seeds. I'm kind of getting rid of those. I have 3 chests down there. I don't need that many, but eh. So the hopper there is filled up. You can see a hopper right there. That's full. So the seeds are just kind of sit there, and they're going to despawn. But who cares? I've got tons of them. This is my sorter for that. Got my seeds, and then the wheat. And the wheat gets sent over here and shot out of this. So when this has something, see there's nothing in it now, but when something's in it, this picks it up, sends it out one signal. This, again, it's an amplifier. It picks up the signal and boosts it and sends it out again. It'll go 16, so I have to go down here, around, back underneath, and it comes back up the other side, and it activates it. So when this gets something in it, it activates and fires, and shoots it out into that water stream. And then, of course, like I said, it takes you down, and then it goes down into there, and over here there are hoppers that lead into that dropper. And that has 5 double chests, also all full. It's right over here. Sweet. The farm itself is over here. This thing is pretty cool. This is my first wheat farm. It's kind of small. It's only 80 blocks. It's 9 by 9, so 81. But you need water in the center to hydrate the land, the farmland. So this little guy over here, what are you doing? Oh, there's no wheat ready. He's waiting for one of these pieces of wheat to be full grown. You kind of tell they're full grown when they have like this, I don't know, you can see the wheat in my hand. It's got that brownish color at the top. That's when it's ready. So when there's one that's ready. So he should notice this in a little bit. Yeah, see, the wheat just keeps growing. He's standing over here looking at something. I'm going to move these guys out of the way. Oh, no, come on. Pull this away. There you go. Yeah, I think even through the blocks, he can tell that there's other villagers there, and he wants to... They're very gregarious. They want to hang out and talk to each other. Now he's doing his wheat thing. Alright, so this guy, his inventory is full of seeds. He can't pick anything else up. So when he breaks the wheat just kind of sits there on the ground. Right? Except that down here, we've got this minecart. And so this track is designed to kind of, zigzag its way all the way around. So it goes under every single block. If it picks up a piece of wheat, then it'll drop it off over here. Right? And then that's where it drops it into the water stream. So wheat falls in there, and it shoots into a water stream over there. Which leads to where we were before. Here's the actual trading center. Got villagers in there, weaponsmiths. This is what I like, librarians. So this guy's got some good stuff. Feather Falling 2, that's I use Feather Falling 4, which I have. A guy that does that. I have this guy because he has Power 5. That's his main thing. Power 5 makes your bow more powerful. Quite a bit more powerful. 64 emeralds, that's a big enchantment. And how do you get 64 emeralds, you ask? You have to trade with these guys. He'll take paper, which you can turn sugarcane into paper, and he'll give you 1 diamond, or 1 emerald for 36 paper. So you don't even get 2 emeralds per stack. But I basically have an unlimited supply of paper. The best guy to trade with is down here. Oh, Fletchers and Fishermen. They both take string. So I went ahead and take my mob farm, which I haven't shown you yet. But all the string from that filters down in here. 10 double chests. Not nearly full yet. We got 2, 3. Wow. It looks like that was it. I'm almost done with 3 double chests. of that. Pumpkins, we've got a ton of pumpkins. Melons, not quite as many. But farmers. Farmers want pumpkins, melons, wheat, potatoes, and carrots. I've got some potatoes and carrots, but not nearly enough. I have a farm, but it's not quite automatic. I actually have to go and farm it. So, I'm working on that. But yeah, farmers will trade all of that. There's your wheat, potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, melons, and I use those diamonds to buy those enchanted books. Cartographers, they also buy paper. Clerics, they buy zombie flesh. Oops. And I've got quite a bit of zombie flesh. I'm working on my 5th double chest of that. These I just recently put in. So my villager breeder, what I used to fill this hall, is how I got all these things, used to be up above ground, kind of over in this direction and up. And they would feed into a water stream that would take them here. This area has one water block there, so everything's flowing this direction toward me. And I would hit this button. That would pop out. Let's break that. Oh, he's gone. Keep that off. If that's unpowered, if it hits 2 unpowered powered rails, it'll stop. So you launch it out. It'll pick up the guy here, and I can inspect to see what he is. Like if he's a villager, I want to keep him. If I don't want to keep him, I think the rails are set up right now. So I turn that on and push, and that thing will just go. But see, there's nobody in it, so it doesn't go as we want it to. But if it's someone that I'm just trying to get rid of, you know, like it doesn't give good trades, I don't want to keep it, it goes down this rail line into here. This is all 1 block high. So they're standing in this. It takes them through, and they end up, they suffocate. And that rail takes them all the way around and back to where we picked up the villagers in the first place. So I can just break the minecarts over here. Yeah, they come all the way around, and they end up right here. I can break the minecart and then put it back in the system. It's kind of empty right now. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. Let me show you the farms themselves, the big farms, because they're pretty impressive. Is it daylight? It is daylight. So my chicken farm, I didn't show you, but it's the same thing, 5 double chests, all completely full. This is my chicken farm. I know you can't see anything because I made it out of gold blocks. There's my sugar cane. So you saw one layer. There was another one down below that, and then I've got these 3 up here. And they're pretty much always spitting out. All the sugar cane gets picked up by the carts. You see I've got 1 minecart there. There's another one there. Like above the dirt there. Sorry, right below the sand. And there it comes. You can see it now. Alright. And it drops it into these hoppers, which feed down into this dispenser and spits it out. And then it goes down. Here's my other wheat farm. This is actually 4 wheat farms. So the one I showed you was the 9x9. This is basically 4 9x9s. So that's 320 plots. This guy's pretty much constantly harvesting wheat. There's another one he just found. He'll break it, and this minecart that's in this section here will pick it up. And then I've got a line of hoppers that funnel it back down underground. See, the last one I've got over here is the pumpkin and melon farm. This uses observer blocks. So, again, the observer block can detect when something grows here. So, pumpkin or melon, I'm not sure what that one is right there, will grow. It'll put right there. This observer will detect it. It'll send a signal out the back, which activates the sticky piston. So, the sticky piston gets fired out and then pulls back. And it'll pull this observer. Alright? This observer is facing the other direction. It sees the dirt above it. When it gets pulled, now it doesn't see the dirt, so it fires a signal. which activates this piston, which breaks the pumpkin or the melon. And then, of course, the hopper down below picks it up. And then it retracts, which this detects, sends another signal. So this thing goes out again, but see, it goes out so quickly that it just leaves it there. It could either pick it up, or it can push it out and then leave it behind, because the pulse from this thing is so quick. Oh, there goes one. That was so quick. Yeah, so something grew and it got picked up, and now there's hoppers underneath there, and I think they go over here. And then I've got a little sorting system down there. Barely see something down there. But that's where my sorting system for that is. Here's my potato and carrot farm that's, like I said, kind of manual. I've got to actually plant it physically. But then when I'm ready to harvest, I just flip this switch and water gets sent down all the way down here, and it's 2 layers. Got a second layer up there. All the potatoes and carrots get funneled down into these hoppers. Now this hopper right here feeds into this chest. That way I have potatoes and carrots up here to replant with, but the other 3 all go down into the storage system. Pretty fancy. Let's see. Let's look at the... There's my iron farm over there, out in the water. Yeah, that structure right there is the iron farm. The iron golems form in there, they get pushed to the center and then down that tube. They die in lava. This is what I used. This is the water stream I used to fill that thing, because you need like 20 villagers. So I was breeding the villagers and then sending them over. There's still a few up there. That's how I would get them there, though. Let's see. I'm gonna go drop down here and jump over. Gotta get the timing just right. Mobs can't do this at all, so this is how I can get away from them at night. We're gonna take a ride up to the top. Alright, so we're in there, we're back as far as we can go, and launch. That's really slow. Yeah, I need to do some work on this. I've got so much gold now that I can really increase the speed that this thing goes up. I really need to, because it's very slow. But yeah, this is going to take us all the way up to the top there. You can see where it's kind of a rail, like a line, that goes across 2 blocks wide. One of those is a walking path, and the other is for this rail that we're on. It is nice because I don't have to like hold the button to like climb a ladder or anything like that. I just sit in the minecart and it takes me all the way up. Alright. Shift. You hit left shift to exit something that you're riding. So yeah, this is my mob farm. I used to go up here and kill these mobs manually. This is my XP farm as well. This used to not be glass, but I had in the center, it was like half slab, so like a half a block taller. I could only see their feet. They would land and they couldn't see me at all. I could see their feet and just tag them. And of course they had dropped like 22 blocks, taken almost full fall damage. But now I have my other XP farm, and I just want the mob drops. So these things fall down, the water pushes them along, and then they fall all the way down. And let's go back down, I'll show you. I got a glass floor over here. So yeah, they're going to fall on this platform right here. And then there's a line of hoppers. You can't see it because I covered it with half slabs, so nothing would spawn there. There's a line of hoppers that goes along here, and right there is another dropper. And you can see, maybe you can't see right where my cursor is. I'm going to move it down now. There's a comparator, which feeds a little redstone line, which goes all the way around, and then powers the dropper. So next time something falls down, we'll see. It's on a little timer. Of course, sometimes it breaks. I don't know why. Sometimes mobs don't spawn. Sometimes It's just weird stuff. Oh, there we go. We got it. So he'll fall. And look over there. You see that line of redstone glow in a few seconds. It'll start flashing because we got quite a few. There we go. On, on, on. There we go. Another one. Another one. Another one. So yeah, every drop that they do, so zombie flesh or skeleton bones, spider silk, all that stuff, it just gets sent down into the mob system, the mob farm. I also have a fishing farm. I don't have time to show you that, but I'll show you the storage for it. Yeah, this is kind of nice. Now this is not nearly full, but the fish are getting there. Jeez. Salmon's pretty good to eat. All these things, some of them are useful, some are not. Oh, there's also my old storage for the mob farm. This is a nice big storage room. So you got your gunpowder, zombie flesh, bones, arrows, spider silk, spider eyes, and yeah, a lot of this stuff is full. Just because, I used to come up here all the time, and this was, like I said, my XP farm. Potatoes, carrots, all this stuff, and this is like random stuff that doesn't stack for the most part. Ah, come on. I think I've emptied a lot of this out. Alright, yeah, let's go down. I'll show you the little platform. I got like another viewing area for the mob drop place. And here we go. So yeah, this is where the mobs drop, the little platform. You can see underneath there is where the hoppers are. And then they go in a line out there, and you'll see that light up. So that skeleton just died. There we go. You can even see the stuff falling down through the tube. And look at that. Isn't that awesome? There's a tunnel. I'll show you. We're going to go down there right now because that's where the storage is for this mob farm. But there's a tunnel that goes all the way along here, and then there's a stairwell that exits right underneath that little gazebo there. And then I built these two circular, there's a little walkway there, and then there's a bigger walkway there. And then there's two paths you can leave that thing with. One takes you over this bridge across this swamp to the other side of the swamp. And then this other one down there, the little red brick road, kind of goes out that direction. It really is cool building circles in Minecraft. They look really good from a distance. I mean, no lie. That just looks awesome. Looks like a nice little manicured garden type place, Here's a observation deck. You can kind of see the iron farm, and then the other farms over here. I was here one day and I found a zombie up here. That was no fun. I'm thinking he probably had like feather falling boots and survived the drop to there, and then somehow fell off and landed here and survived that as well. But there's all the farms. Chicken farm, wheat, sugarcane, pumpkin melon, and potato carrot. And there's the little gazebo area, all surrounded by a hedge. And then there's our tube, it just goes right down into the ground there. It took me quite a while to build all this, by the way. You're not going to come in day one and have all this. Here, we've been here before. Remember the sheep stuff is over there. Alright, so here's this tunnel I was telling you about. This is where I keep all my mob drops. Well, not all of them. Obviously, spider silk and zombie flesh goes into the villager trading center. Bones and gunpowder, those are the biggies that come here. Also, these minor ones, the redstone, glowstone, sugar, spider eyes, glass bottles, and sticks. And then even more space for the bones and the the gunpowder. So what, that's 5, 10, I got 15, I got 30. 30 double chests worth of each of these. These are good for making explosives if you want to make TNT, or if you want to use rockets. If you get an elytra, which lets you fly, rockets let you fly. Bone meal, you can make blocks out of it, building blocks, kind of like a nice off-white color, good contrast. But the other big thing they're used for is for you can grind them up to make bone meal. Let's see. Oh, this one here. I'll take one of these. Yeah, I'll take a few. You can take this bone and make it into bone meal. Each one makes you 3. So there's 9 bone meal. And you can use that to grow crops. Like more quickly. So like, let's say I wanted to grow these carrots real quick. And go ahead and plant them. Whoops. I see they're little babies. But if I take my bone meal and hit it, boom. Took 2. And now it's at full growth. So that's convenient. Let's go out the back of this tunnel, and I'll show you the little gazebo place. If you run and jump, you move faster. You can definitely tell it's nighttime because I can every now and then hear the zombies kind of growling. That they only show up at night. And if you're close to the surface, even if you're underground, if you're close to the surface, you can hear them. Anyway, this is that nice little area. I've even got little connecting pathways that connect the 2 rings. Plenty of lighting. Well, hello there, pig. Why are you glitched through these blocks? I was going to show you the bridge, but there's really nothing there. It's just a bridge across a swamp. And it just ends there. Didn't really do anything with it. This road, though, I have a big dig project. I wanted a place to get, like basic building blocks. I mean, I get plenty of those in the mining shaft, but I want to just clear out a whole area. Health is too low to run. There we go. So we're just moving right along. It does take a little while to get from one place to another in the game. And we may run into some mobs, because some of this is not covered. Like this area right here. Mobs can get in through right here. They can also drop down. So like if there was a mob right there, you could drop right down onto the path. Same thing with over here. Eventually I like to get this whole place lit up, within like 50 or 100 blocks, and make it all nice and manicured, landscaped, so it looked really good. But yeah, here's the big hole I decided to dig. And yeah, I'm not nearly there yet. It's 100 by 100. And I believe I'm at Y level 60, 61, something like that. So I've got a good 55 blocks or so to go to get to the very bottom. But when my inventory gets full, I come over here and I just put the blocks right in there. So let's see, I've got those stone blocks. So I can just come on down here, and there's a hopper chain. And so it'll slowly filter all these items down. Just block that off. Yeah, anything that isn't part of my 100 by 100, I just block it off with glass so you can see. Here we go. This is my storage room for the big dig. Look at that. Each of these bays is 35. And I've got 10 of them, so I've got 350 double chests down here. Now, some of these are what they call trap chests. Meaning they won't... Oh, this won't show you at all anyway. Alright, so this row fills, then this row, but it also has to fill the hoppers behind it. So the stuff I dropped is actually filling in a hopper behind this chest right here. When that hopper is full, then it'll start overflowing over to here, and then this will start filling up. The 2 blocks in front, unless, you know, it's something messed up, like I could fix that. Whoops. Oh, I dropped all my stone. What a dummy. There we go. Now this you can't break. This is bedrock. But anything else that's in front of the 2 blocks in front of the chest tells you what's in the chest. So this is dirt, this is granite, diorite, and you can see there's diorite in these chests. Andesite, iron ore, sand. Got quite a bit of sand so far. No, I don't. Coal, gravel. That's where this goes. Obsidian. Cobblestone, gold, redstone, and lapis, or bluestone. This is going to be for diamonds, but yeah, you need 22 in the sorting system. I think I only have like 5, so I've got one in each slot filled up. So I need to wait till I actually get diamonds so I can label this one. Anyway, that is a massive storage room. I don't know what I'll do when I'm done, but I am looking forward to getting that hole completely dug all the way to bedrock. And this is going to be a massive storage room for your basic building supplies. You know, you can build in different colors with different colored stones, and you know, you always need dirt for farms and stuff like that. Anyway, that's the big dig there. And then there's one other thing I want to show you. We'll get out of this hole. Get my sword in my hand. I like my sword. And I'm actually going to get a few blocks because I completely forgot. I got 2 cobblestone, but let's break a few of these. I like having some smooth stone blocks on me just as, you know, building blocks. Like if I need to tower up to look at something, it's nice to have, you know, a stack. Alright, that's good. 50 will do. And let's get rid of everything else. Just let that stuff go into the sorting system. Only blocks, though. So this stuff I'm not going to put in the sorting system, because I don't have anywhere to put that stuff. Vines, you can climb a vine like it's a ladder, so this is how we get out. The cool thing about vines is they'll keep growing down, so as I keep going down, these vines will grow down too. So, you know, if I knock out these blocks, then it might not happen in front of us. It probably won't happen in front of us, but over time, the vines will grow down. Very convenient. It's like a self-growing ladder. So we're going to go back up here, and up here is what we call a nether portal. This lets you enter the nether. The nether kind of matches the overworld. Not match, it doesn't look anything like it. But there's an 8-to-1 correspondence. So if I were to move 10 blocks in this direction in the nether, I've actually moved 80 blocks in the overworld. So remember that distance that we ran? It took a little while to get from the base to the hole. That right there, that black line that you see, that's another nether portal, and that's in the bottom of the base. In fact, it's like just a few blocks away from, remember where the dye machine was? You flip the switch and it just makes dyes out of the flowers? That's where that was. So, it's a nice little shortcut. But up at the very top of the nether, that's where we're going to go. I'm going to show you my farm. The ultimate farm. I don't know if you've noticed, I have 0 experience. I made sure that I didn't break anything with my fortune pickaxe or kill any mobs or anything like that. I have absolutely no experience. Uh, my level would be, you see right above all my gear here, where my sword is? Above, yeah, that you got your hearts on the left, you got your meat pops on the right. That's your hunger and your health, or health and hunger, whichever. But in the middle between them tells you what level you are. Alright? And there's nothing there. Also, just below that, there's like a line, like a dark gray line, that actually fills in with green. When it gets all the way to the right, then I go up a level. And then it resets. It goes all the way to the right, go up a level. So, I'm actually at level 0. I have no levels and no experience at all. And the old farm that I had, the one where I stood up at the top and I would hit the things with the sword as they dropped down, and I'd hit the button to flush them out. That I made automatic. That's been replaced by the automatic system now. That used to get me from, in 10 minutes, I could get to level, say, 34. 34 levels in 10 minutes. Or I would say, just to be round, 30 levels in 10 minutes. We're going to hit one of these zombie pigmen. Zombie pigmen will aggro to you. And if you hit one, they all aggro to you. So let's see how this works. Uh-oh. So they're all coming from all around. I've got 4 layers of spawning platforms, and they just come at me, and they die in these. Where they're landing, there are minecarts. There's a thing called entity cramming. You can only have 24 entities in a block. So I've got 24 minecarts in each of these blocks, right? Each of these sides. And when the zombie pigmen fall in, it takes like a second or so, but they just die. They can't survive with so many entities there. They just, and I get the XP for it. It's helpful if I have my God Sword in my hand because it has the fortune. But look, it's like, what, 30 seconds? 40 seconds? And I'm almost level 30 right now. And they're still coming. Because they respawn, and in the time it takes these guys to die and more to respawn, there's still some guys here that are angry at me, which basically spreads the aggro to all the other pigmen as they respawn. They're still aggro to me, because there's still guys here dying. It's amazing. I love this thing. Not only do these zombie pigmen give me experience, they also drop, zombie flesh. I just throw the zombie flesh away, because honestly, I'd have to transfer it from the nether into the overworld, which is a little bit more difficult. I'm sure there's a way to do it. If I can figure out a way to do it automatically, or, if it's easy and I just get off my butt and do it, I might do that. But I get plenty of zombie flesh with the other farm, and what I really use this farm for is downstairs. So I'm already at level 40. I'm gonna drop down, and see, they can't see me now. So give it 30 seconds, and they will stop aggroing to me. When I was up on this platform here, they could see me through the gap, but now they can't see me. So we're gonna drop down. I like to shut these when I leave. So I've got 8 double chests. There's 2 on either, well, not 8 double chests, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 12 times 4. On each side I've got 2 of these. 48 double chests. 24 of them are for these things here. I just pick these gold nuggets up, and then on the other side it's for the gold ingots. I don't get nearly as many of those. So on this one, I'm basically putting all the gold that I collect. Every now and then, when these get full, which doesn't take long, an overnight session, these will fill all the way up. I'll have, 24 double chests of this stuff full. But right now, they only go about halfway or a little bit more up. But I can take all that, turn the nuggets, like iron, turn the nuggets into bars, and then the bars into blocks. And what I have is all that and all that. This right here, what I have in here, would probably fill that up and maybe like this full row right here. Needless to say, I'm never going to run out of gold, which is why I made my chicken farm out of it. If you want, we can go up and I can take a better look at what it looks like out there. I've got a lad right here. But yeah, see that? Okay, that thing right there, hopping around, that is called a magma cube. They're much like the slimes, except they are in the nether and they are fiery. They also hate the iron golems, which is why I have, you can't really see the ones that are down here, but there are some down here, and then I got some up here. So between level 1 and 2 and level 3 and 4, I've got, I think, 12 iron golems spaced all the way around, so that if one of these magma cubes forms, it jumps at it until it goes over the edge, and it just falls to its death. And there's also, I've got out here in these little cages, zombie pigmen. And they are, I believe they're labeled. Are they named? Yeah, they're named. They're called alert zombie pigmen. They basically keep the aggro chain going. If you didn't have those, you might aggro for a couple of minutes, but then the chain would end. But with those guys there, and me standing right over here in the middle, where I can see them, because I got these gaps in here, so they can always see me. That's what keeps the aggro chain going, is those 12 pigmen in little cages. But anyway, that's most of it. You know, that's most of my farms. I've got another gold farm that I could show you, but it's impressive looking, but it's not as impressive operating as this. And I don't know. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the tour, and maybe you'll play some Minecraft. Yeah, get a computer, play some Minecraft. All right, man. Bye bye.